Welcome. This is Glasgow Rangers Nation. I'm your host, Owen James, and this is all your latest Rangers news, guys. It's a massive week for the club in terms of 2 games this week. We've been going through a spell, haven't we? We've only 1 game a week, only the league game or the cup game on the weekend. But now it is back to Rangers Thursday night. It's back to the Thursday-Sunday humdrum of the Europa League. It's back to those glorious European nights, either away or at Ibrox, when Ibrox is always rocking. Obviously, this Thursday, it's not a home game. It's away. We are away from home. We travel to Sweden to take on Malmo. And we're going to sort of bring you a series of videos and different things, obviously building up to the game on Thursday night. Of course, it's Thursday night. It's a Rangers Thursday night. And look, yes, there is a disappointment there. Of course, we'd rather be playing Champions League football because, let's face it, at the end of the day, that's where the money is and that's where you need to be. But we're not there. We've got to make the best of it. We've got to make the best of this Europa League campaign. I think we've got to obviously, do as well as we can, keep the coefficient points up, help us to retain, obviously, Scotland's second place in the Champions League in the future. Also, as well, wins mean money, points mean prizes. So hopefully we can get some more points and some more prizes. It's not going to be an easy one. It's not going to be an easy one. Malmo are, people are talking about Malmo being a sort of one of the weaker teams that we face in this Europa League group. But I don't think our group, it's kind of league, kind of 8 games, isn't it? Weird. But I've got to say, the Champions League format and the new Europa League format, I don't like them. I really seriously don't like them. I think they're crap. But there we go. So look, we've got Malmo. Malmo currently sit top of the Allsvenskan, which is the Swedish Premier League. They are some 11 points clear of their nearest rivals, Djurgårdens. They've played 24 games this season, so they're already well into their season. They're already, a good way through and have a lot more match fitness and match sharpness than we do. They've won 16, drawn 5, lost 3. They've scored 57, only conceded 19, have a plus 38 goal difference, which is 21 goals better than Hammarabi in third, who have the next best goal difference, sit on 53 points. Their last few games that they've played, they won 4-0 against Haken, which sounds like someone trying to clear their throat on yesterday, on Sunday it was. Before that, there was a 0-0 draw against Gais, and a 0-0 against AIK Solna, and a 4-0 win over third place Djurgårdens. So, in terms of their last 4, they've actually, they've won 2 of them, drawn 2 of them, but not conceded a single goal in those games. The last time they conceded a goal in their league competition was on the 24th of August, in a 2-2 draw with Kalmar. They progressed. They came into, obviously, the Europa League because they missed out on the Champions League. They lost 4-0 on aggregate to Sparta Prague and dropped down to the Europa League like us. So they are a Europa League drop-down side like we are. Now, there is 2 things we're going to talk about on this video as regards this game that is upcoming on Thursday night. We're going to talk about their right-wing Viking psycho. Yes, a Viking. I'm calling him a Viking. He's Danish, but we'll call him Viking. Vikings are from Denmark, Norway, and Greenland, and Sweden, and all over the place. Got to love a Viking. I've got Viking heritage myself. We're going to talk about Anders Christiansen, a 34-year-old Danish winger who is a quality player by all accounts, but is a bit of a nutter. We'll talk about him. We'll start off there by mentioning just a little issue that Rangers have, obviously, going into this tie on Thursday. That is that they will be without superstar left back Hjefte. Obviously, Hjefte was sent off wrongly, obviously, against Champions League opponents Dinamo Kiev. I mean, let's face it, that decision to send him off, still, you watch it back, it was a fucking joke, wasn't it? An absolute joke to send him off. It really genuinely was. But he's off. We've got a dilemma now. What do we do? Who do we play at left back? Now, look, Ridvan is not back. Ridvan, we know, is only training on his own. Ridvan is only in a position where we are looking at trying to get him back, trying to get him fit again, and he hasn't taken part in any team sessions yet. And I think even if he starts today, it's still going to be not enough to start him. And we've also seen as well the track record that Philippe Clement has in terms of actually playing players that come back from injury. He much prefers, doesn't he, to kind of gently reintroduce them from the bench. So I really don't think that there's any chance whatsoever that Ridvan will be back. So look, how do we replace him? Now, as far as I see it, there are 3 options: Sterling, Casemiro, and Fraser. Now, Sterling can play left back. We've seen him do it a number of times, including in Old Firm games. Casemiro, although he's a right back and centre back primarily, has at times played left back, not his preferred position. And we have Robbie Fraser. Now, I'm going to just say straight from the out, I don't want to see a right footer on the left side of the team, okay? For a couple of reasons. Number one, it automatically narrows down the attack. The moment you play a right footer like Sterling, and there's nothing against Big Cass, nothing against Sterling. Love them both. Love Sterling to bits. Like, I'm not, hating on Sterling. I'm not, criticizing him. But what I am saying is the moment you put a right footer on the left side of defense who isn't naturally comfortable on their left foot, they automatically drift in. They drift in onto their right foot. They pass in on their right foot. They come inside on their right foot. It automatically narrows the pitch down. So, you look at a lot of the games where we've been successful, with Cortez and Bayrami, who also come in a little bit, is with then the fullback going on the outside, going round, overlapping, creating a natural width. And I think we saw last season, didn't we, when Ridvan was out and we played a right footer at left back. It narrowed down and made our attack less effective. So for me, we've got to play a left footer on the left-hand side of the defence. Now, I really hope that Philippe Clement shows some balls, shows some courage, and actually does this. I'm doubtful. I think Sterling will probably start. One criticism I have got of Big Philip is he is a bit of a coward when it comes to team selection. He's not brave enough in his team selection in the same way that Guardiola, Klopp, Arteta, Schlott, people like that are, real, what I would call top managers are. I would play Robbie Fraser at left back. At the end of the day, if you don't play a lad who is a left-sided player, he can play left wing, he can play left back, he is naturally left-footed, he's come through the youth academy, he's shown at times last season that he can cope there. The time he's been called upon this season, again, he's shown that he can cope there. He can get around the outside, he's got good pace, he's good going forwards, he's good going backwards. He's a natural left-footed, talented player. Now, for me personally, if Big Phil says, I'm going to start Sterling at left back, I'm going to start Casemiro at left back on Thursday night over Fraser, that to me sends a bit of a message to Robbie Fraser. It sends a message that, sorry, Robbie, you're not really in my plans. You're not really what I would call a viable option because I'm looking at other people, I'm using other players. I don't see you as I haven't got any confidence in you. Because to me, if you're not prepared to put him into this game, you have no confidence in him. You don't think he can cope. Now, Malmo, yes, they're a good team, but they're not Manchester United, they're not Tottenham Hotspur, they're not Nice, they're not they're not Borussia Dortmund, they're not Bayer Leverkusen, they're not any of those teams. Okay, they aren't. I'm trying to keep it away from the real big European teams, but this is a game where Robbie Fraser could play and could do very well, and I really want to see Robbie there on Thursday night, starting on the left-hand side of defence. Like I said, when the team comes out at probably about what 4:30. On Thursday evening, if it's Sterling, if it's Cass at left back, I think that sends a big message to Robbie Fraser that the manager doesn't have the confidence in you. He doesn't see you as a long-term option at left back, and that maybe you need to perhaps seek, look elsewhere. Because to me, Robbie Fraser is a top player. He is a top player. He's going to, I think, if we give him a run, if we give him a chance to play, he will impress. So realistically, I really want to see Robbie Fraser at left back, like I said, because of the fact that he is a natural left-sided player, which doesn't narrow the attack down. It gives the defense more balance. It also gives the attack more balance because the fullback, as we've seen in recent games, goes outside of the winger who inverts. So that's another thing. And the fact that this lad can attack and can defend as well. So there's reasons there that why this boy should start. And they're my reasons. So let me know what you think in the comments. Who would you start at left back? For me, it's got to be Robbie Fraser. If he starts Sterling, if he starts Cass, that for me sends a message to Robbie Fraser that that the manager has no confidence in him as a starter. Right, let's move it along, guys, on this Malmo part one, the Malmo mission part one. Right, this is a player here. He's 34 years old. Yes, 34 years old, but still a player. He is called Anders Christiansen. He is a right winger. He is a Danish right winger who plays for Malmo. Someone you may not have heard of, and that's because he hasn't had a particularly glowing career. I mean, he's played for Lyngby, he's played for Norgesland, where we got Diamande from. He played for Chievo, but didn't have much of an effect out in Italy. Only 4 games there. He came back to Malmo. He's played for Ghent, and he's been back at Malmo since 2018. He retired. He's had 6 Denmark caps. So he's not a remarkable player, but he really does seem to, as his career's kind of progressed, come into a little bit of form, come into a little bit of talent. In terms of how he's done at Malmo, he's made 178 appearances, scored 50 goals in his second spell at Malmo. This season, he has had 11 appearances, scored 3 goals, scored twice on Sunday against Haken. His best season for them was 17 goals in 29 appearances back in 2020. So, he's no mug. He's a decent player. Now, given the fact that he's a right winger as well, and the left back is a little bit of an issue, it is a slight concern there. It really is a slight concern. But look, hey ho, look, we've got to mark him out of the game, and that's why I put Fraser up against him. But like I said, he is a bit of a hothead, and even his own manager has said that he's a bit of a hothead. His manager said that that he's, in his opinion, he says that he's a genius, but he does have a flashpoint in him. He does have that perhaps slightly unhinged Vikingness about him when he goes a viking, a raiding. He's the captain of Malmo. He's a serious threat as well, according to experts in Sweden. But like they say, if he cuts out the nonsense and stays on the right side of the law. Henrik Rydström, who is the manager of Malmo, said that he wants to see the sensible, the ready-to-play Anders Christensen on Thursday night and doesn't want to see Anders the lunatic on Thursday night. This is what Anders Rydström had to say about his player. He says he's a genius, but it's important that he stays on the right side of the law too. He's been missing for the past 2 matches, and what a difference he made to our side. He can do everything and will have a very important role against Rangers. And that was because he was sent off for elbowing someone in the face. So, he's got that edge to him. Christensen, again, is looking forward to playing in Europe. He said the whole team is in good form right now, and we are looking forward to the game. We always play to win, and we definitely targeted starting the competition with a win against Rangers. So it seems that, the Malmo team, that Christensen are confident coming into this game that they can come in, they can take us on, and they want to play us. So it all bodes well for actually a decent game of football, with 2 teams going out there actually wanting to play the game. Too often, as we know in Scotland, we come across, teams that don't want to play football. They just want to have a fight. They want to put, 10 men behind the ball, kick the living daylights out of us and hope that they can nick a 1-0 or get a 0-0 or come away with a 1-0 loss. We see that too often, but it does seem to me, from what Christensen's saying and what from Rydström is saying, that they're going to actually come and try and play us. And I think that will suit us. That's another reason to play Fraser. Attacking gets forward. For me, on Thursday night, I want to see an attacking Rangers. I want to see a Rangers that really go for it. I don't want to see a conservative Rangers. I don't want to see a Rangers that are scared. I want to see us go out there and impose ourselves on them. Yes, they are a good team. Yes, they are top of the Allsvenskan. But, at the end of the day, the Allsvenskan is not a massively strong league. Malmo are not a top team. Yes, I know in the past they knocked us out of European competition. But this is a new start, a new team on both sides and a new game. This is the start of a Rangers Thursday night. This is the start of the Europa League, guys. And this is Malmo Mission Part 1. Guys, let me know what you think of the stories we've covered in this. We'll have more build-up to the game, Malmo Mission Part 2, and so on and so forth. Thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation, guys. Massive on Thursday. We will be here with a live watch-along on Thursday evening, so please join us for that. Thanks for watching, guys. Please smash the like, smash the sub, drop a comment. All helps. Help grow the channel. Help me get on this full time. Thanks for watching. We are the people.